I didn't even know whether I had a case.
My life fell apart in that car accident.
It's just a constant reminder that every day my whole life completely changed because of these car accidents.
They fought you every step of the way.
I remember wanting to jump up and go, she's lying.
You had a battle on your hands.
That's when I decided to call you.
And the spirit just led me. I don't know what happened. I just dialed that number.
I felt like you were a very trustworthy and honest person.
There was no doubt in my mind that everything would be fine.
You made more happen in 5 hours than they did in 5 months.
You alleviated much of my anxiety.
I felt different with you. You felt more like a good friend.
I had my check within days.
And you just handled that case so beautiful for me.
I think you really care.
We try to treat every single client who comes to the office with respect and the way we would want to be treated.
You're the guy to be on my team.
I'm Jed Dietrich, and over the next 30 minutes, you will hear testimonials from my actual clients who are not actors, who are not actresses, telling you their stories. They have not been compensated. Why don't you guys just tell me a little bit about the communication between my office and you as I was pursuing your case for you?
The communication was very clear. Right from the onset, that was the best part. I knew that when I was talking to you, I wasn't just getting information from you, I would get the same information from your staff and vice versa. You were very clear with setting expectations. I knew exactly what I was responsible for, which wasn't much, to be honest, but I also knew what you were going to be doing next and what the expectations were. I knew I wasn't in control of the situation, but at least I knew what was going on.
And now, Denise, you come from the financial services world.
Correct.
And one of the things that people frequently ask, I know from my own experience, is how do you get paid? And in my business, the attorney's fee is 1/3, which means the attorney's fee for personal injury cases is set by New York state law. And the concept there is it doesn't cost any more to hire a lawyer with a track record of cases. In my case, 28 times insurance companies have paid $1 million or more on behalf of my clients. So the concept we're getting at here is it doesn't cost any more to hire a lawyer with a great track record versus a lawyer who might be part of a big operation, let's say a big firm. Now, Tammy, you started with a larger law firm after your accident.
Unfortunately, I did.
And your accident was a rear end collision, you got hit from behind?
Yes, I did.
And in your case, one of the things that was unusual was there was no police report. Now, when you're in a car accident, it's very important to call the police, even if the other person who caused your damage or caused your injury doesn't want to call the police. The police report is the first tool that we use to investigate the case, and all of the insurance companies want that police report. So in your case, Tammy, you went to a larger firm. It was an advertising firm.
Yes. Yes, it was a larger firm. I fell into that trap of the slogans out there, call, these numbers, and I really didn't enjoy that experience. There was a large amount of dysfunction there. No one knew what was going on with my case. I would call and I felt as though I knew more about my case than they did. That's when I decided to call you.
What was it that struck you different than the other lawyers that were also advertising?
Just the honesty of your commercial. I thought, why not give this firm an opportunity? And you did. You reached out right away. You came to my house. You made more happen in 5 hours than they did in 5 months. And again, it was a very overwhelming experience. And I needed somebody top-notch to handle this. And you did.
I appreciate you saying that, Tammy.
Well,
I really
it's
do.
the truth.
And this is one of the things, my personal philosophy as a lawyer and my personal philosophy in life is to try to do things to the best of my ability, because if I do that and you're relying upon me, then I can give you a better result. And again, this goes with the attorney's fee situation. My fee is 1/3. There's absolutely no fee to my clients until the case is done, until we win for you. There's no fee. So what we do is we try to put the case together in a way that brings out the best parts and the attributes of you as a person to show the insurance companies that you are entitled to a fair and reasonable settlement. So when I came out to your house, Tammy, do you remember who I had with me?
Well, you had with you your children, which were well behaved.
Well,
And, you got the job done. Like I said, in less than a day, I had a lost wages issue. 5 months of monkeying, I did. Then I got you on the job. I had my check within days. If it wasn't days, it was the next day. And I was just flabbergasted by your professionalism, your compassion, caring. You made me feel a heck of a lot better in this terrible situation that changed my life.
I had a similar issue with my wages for some reason. The employer, or the company, I never could figure out which one was holding everything up, but it didn't matter. As soon as your team got a hold of it, it was done, like you said.
Yeah, it was handled.
Days, yeah.
Things were handled. I felt like, why didn't I call this guy to begin with? Because I couldn't believe it. Again, the dysfunction at the other office, I think I knew more about my case than they knew. I just constant run around different people. When I was under the impression that I was going to be dealing with the top dog there, my work kind of got farmed out to everybody, and nobody knew nothing. And all I knew was no money coming in, no creamer for my coffee. Not good, in a neck brace. It's reassuring when you know you have somebody that really, I think you really care. You're very kind and personable.
I appreciate you saying that, Tammy.
And your whole staff, they're on the ball. They know what they're doing. If I called here and I spoke with Peg, I got answers. You're right, I didn't need to speak with you because your staff is on it.
Well,
And a class act, again, a class act, and that's what I'm all about. I don't have time for monkey around and wasting my time. My time is valuable.
What we try to do in my firm is treat you the way we want to be treated. We try to say, if we're the victim, if we're injured and it's not our fault, what would we want to happen? We'd want phone calls to be returned within 1 business day. That's a guarantee I provide to every one of my clients. If you call my office on the weekend, you can be patched directly through to my cell phone. On Saturday, I return a phone call at 8:30 in the morning. Monday morning, I was at ECMC signing up a new case on a person who was very seriously injured, broken bone, she got hit in a car accident. Those are the types of things where we believe we can excel in terms of handling the complex cases, handling the problems, making it easier for you as a victim. Now, Sue, I know that you were referred to me by your dad.
Correct.
And your dad and I think, have known each other for going on about 15 years. He had a claim a while ago.
Yes.
So even before you had your problem, you had a car accident?
Yes.
And what happened in the car accident?
I was driving on Transit Road, and a woman came out and pulled out right in front of me and basically T-boned me. Luckily, there was no one in the other lane, or I don't even know what would have happened. Since then, I've had to have neck and back surgery, and I didn't even know whether I had a case. I had never had a lawsuit before. I was never the type to even think about that. My sister happened to tell me, you better call right away. And I had talked to my father, and my father has talked about Jed for years. My father has had wonderful results with Jed, refers many people to him, and everyone that I've known that he has referred has been quite pleased. That day, I happened to call. It was the day after the car accident. I spoke to Peg. The same thing with lost wages. I had just started more or less a temporary job and got hit. I had no idea that I would even be able to be eligible to get any lost wages. But my life was in disarray to begin with, and then this accident happened, and I was just just totally flustered. And right away I was put at ease by Peg. And then I think that day called me back and went over what my case was, how things were going to work, and you alleviated much of my anxiety.
And that's what we try to do. At my firm, we try to treat you the way we would want to be treated. We try to put ourselves in your circumstance and say, okay, if I'm injured, I don't have wages. So we get on top of that.
Right.
In a car accident case, you get your wages from your own insurance company. It's called New York State No Fault. And your medical bills are also paid by your own insurance company under New York State No Fault. The common misconception, and each of you can testify to this, is that your own insurance company, they want to cut you off of benefits and keep the payouts to you as low as possible, just like the other person's insurance company. So very frequently people will come to me and say, my own company is giving me a hassle, paying my bills, reimbursing me for my mileage. You're entitled to be reimbursed for your mileage. So what we do is, right in the beginning of the case, you come, we meet together, tell me what happened, we get the police report, we find out which insurance companies are involved, we fill out your no-fault application for you. There are strict deadlines with regard to filing the forms that you need to pursue a case and to get your medical bills paid. Even if you don't want to pursue a case for your pain and suffering or your broken bones, you still have to get that no-fault application completed. We do that. The first time you meet with us, we fill that out, we send it in and get things up and going. If you've been injured, you have an important decision to make regarding which lawyer you hire. In New York State, it doesn't cost anymore to hire a lawyer with a great track record. The attorney's fee is set by law. Therefore, hire the best lawyer for your injury case. Contact me at 839-3939. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, there are two ways of doing things. You can do things the right way, or you can do them the wrong way. And what we try to do is do them the right way so that you get a better result. That's what it comes down to, because we're in it together. You can hire a lawyer who's got a great track record. In my case, I've settled 28 cases for $1 million or more. Now, why do I say that? So you can feel comfortable and clients can feel comfortable that I can handle your case. Now, most cases that come to my office are not big $1 million cases, but what we do is we try to treat every single client who comes to the office with respect and the way we would want to be treated. So I know, Denise, at one point we actually went through the case with you. We sat down, we got your wages going. We actually sued your case in the New York State Supreme Court. Why don't we talk a little bit about what the paperwork was like and your concerns and how we handled that for you?
Well, when you came to the house, which it sounds like with all three of us, that's obviously a very impressive fact. I mean, it never occurred to me that you would come to the house. I was really trying to figure out, how am I going to get there with a broken foot and a messed up back? How am I going to get there? So when you came to the house and you said, we're going to do this, the laundry list that you had given me, we need this form, we need this form, I didn't know anything about that. And I'm pretty confident that my insurance company would not say, don't forget to fill out your no-fault form.
That's exactly right.
I'm pretty sure that they would not do that. But the good news is you set the expectation right away. This is what we're going to do now. My staff is going to reach out to you. Peg's going to call you. We're going to get your wages going. The next step after that, what are you doing for your care? You need to, these are the things you need to be sure that you're taking, that your health is taken care of so that you can get better. While Denise, while you're concentrating on that, we're going to concentrate on getting everything through the process so we can get the no-fault case going. As far as pain and suffering, I mean, let's face it, that's what happened.
It is. And so in a car accident case, you generally have two cases that are going at the same time. You've got this no-fault case, which is the case with your own insurance company to get your medical bills paid and your lost wages. And they very frequently will not pay your lost wages once a month. And then you've got bills coming in, whether it's your mortgage or whether it's your apartment bills or whether you just have to put gas in your car. We say to ourselves, we're in your circumstance. We want to try to get that covered right away. And we try to pounce on that. And then you've got this corollary case. You've got the no-fault case, and then you've got what we call the personal injury case. And in New York State, you have to be seriously physically injured to recover for this personal injury part of the case. Now, Denise, in your circumstance, you had a fracture, you had a fractured foot, which is an automatic qualifying injury. So when I came to your home and met with you in your home, it was easy for me to say, wasn't your fault based upon what you told me, and because you have a fracture, I can definitely make a recovery on your behalf, and this is what we need to do to kind of pursue things down the road. Now, we also went to the next level with your case. We actually went to the New York State Supreme Court and filed the formal legal paperwork against the person who caused your injuries, and we did that on your behalf, and then we had to fill out certain paperwork along the way. Could you just comment on how that went in terms of that?
I have to be honest. If there was paperwork filled out, I'm sure you reviewed it with me, but because everything was so well taken care of, I just had to concentrate on getting better. I mean, I have to be honest. I remember distinctly the deposition. We had gone to the deposition and we sat in this room and there were words being thrown around. I mean, you hear objection on television and things like that, but there were other words being thrown around that I had no idea what was going on. But based on your reaction, I knew I could still answer the questions and keep going. And then it was the other party's turn to make their deposition. And I remember wanting to jump up and go, she's lying. And you're just, it's okay. Don't, your body language was very calm. Don't worry about, to not worry about it. And then when the deposition was done, we went out the hallway and you very clearly said, Denise, seriously, don't worry about it. This is what I expected. This is what we're going to do next. And this is what I expect to happen next. It was, as soon as I could talk to you and not listen to everything that was going on as far as the deposition, I knew there was no doubt in my mind that everything would be fine.
And again, just to kind of recap for people that are out there, about 95% of the cases that I handle in my office do not have to go to court. They settle outside of court. We get into a position with the insurance company to try to settle the case in a mutually agreeable way. And again, when I do that, when I settle these cases, I do it in conjunction with you. I do it in conjunction with the victims, my clients, because we're a team. I mean, once you come to me, I look at it, we're a team. We can be stronger together. We can do a better job fighting the insurance companies. That's what it is. This is a confrontational business. And for better or for worse, I'm a confrontational person. And I absolutely love to win, but if there's one thing I don't like to do is lose. I mean, I just will do everything in my power to attempt to get you the best result possible. And that requires not only me, it requires you working with me. If you've been injured, you have an important decision to make regarding which lawyer you hire.
When I switched to you, everything was less stressful. You handled it. You took a lot of pressure off of me when I had a lot of pressure. My life fell apart in that car accident and changed my life. And you and your firm, or your staff here, Peggy, above and beyond my expectations, which I can't believe. I was so impressed.
I appreciate it.
I recommend people not to go out and get in a car accident, but in the event something like that happens to you, like what happened to me, you're the guy to be on my team.
Stay tuned, because you will be provided with important information on what to do if you're a victim and you were injured and it wasn't your fault. Rodney, why don't we talk a little bit about what happened to you?
Okay, it was like a nice day. I was riding my motorcycle and a truck went through an intersection and hit me. I went to another lawyer and they weren't exactly up to par with personal injury, so they referred me to you, Jed.
Now, Rodney, a difference for people out there, if you're getting information from this television show, the important issue here is that Rodney was in a motorcycle accident. When you're in a motorcycle accident, there's no guarantee to get your medical bills paid. In a car accident, you've got New York State no-fault coverage, which is like your own little medical policy. It's attached to your car. So if you're in a car accident, it doesn't cost anything. There's no referral fee to get your medical bills paid. You don't have to have any out-of-pocket expenses for co-pays or anything like that in a car accident. Rodney was in a motorcycle collision. In a motorcycle case, you don't have that security of getting your bills paid. And that's your medical bills and your lost wages. Was someone negligent or reckless around you which caused you to be injured? If so, you need to stay tuned, get a pen and a piece of paper and write down this important information. You will hear actual stories of true clients who were not paid for their testimony today, allowing you to appreciate what differentiates my firm from the other law firms who handle personal injury cases. And that's the reason to call my office, because we will handle all the interactions between you being the victim and the insurance company. You don't need to deal with the insurance companies at all. We will fill out the forms for you. When you're in an accident, there are very strict time deadlines. And if you miss one of those time deadlines, you may be precluded, you may be stopped from getting benefits down the road. The other thing is, there are 3 things that need to be done after any accident. Number 1, you need to file a report. So if it's a car accident or a motorcycle accident, you got to get a police report. Number 2, you got to get medical care. And number 3, you got to call my office so that we can deal with the insurance companies for you and your rights can be preserved. Stay tuned, because you will be provided with important information on what to do if you're a victim and you were injured and it wasn't your fault.
I really didn't know where to go. So I went to one of the big law firms, and I just felt like I was getting the runaround. I never really talked to a real lawyer. It was always a paralegal or a secretary. And that's when I met you. And when I met you, I felt comfortable that you would return my calls right away. If I had any questions or concerns, you were always available for me to talk to. Through the whole time, even though it took years to solve my case, you were there for me all through the years, supportive. When I was down, I could call you and talk to you, and you reassured me that you were there to help me instead of just being there to make money. You were there as a friend. And you helped me a lot, and I felt very comfortable with you. And that's why I referred you to many people. It's just a constant reminder that every day my whole life completely changed because of these car accidents. I'm not the same person. I just want to feel good again, and I know that's never going to happen.
And that's really important for people out there. And again, it might be a good opportunity to write down our phone number. It's 839-3939, because we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you call my office, you can be patched directly through to my cell phone. I have that option in terms of technology. And I want everyone out there to know we're there for you during the case and even after the case. If you've been injured, you have an important decision to make regarding which lawyer you hire. In New York State, it doesn't cost anymore to hire a lawyer with a great track record. The attorney's fee is set by law. Therefore, hire the best lawyer for your injury case. Contact me at 839-3939. We've got a special guest here today for anyone who's seen my previous shows. Terry Blackie was with us for our last show, and she's here to tell us and give us an update on how she's doing now. How you doing, Terry?
Doing fabulous.
It's good to see you again.
Doing fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. So you started your own business.
Yes, I did. I used the proceeds from that, from the accidents, the good thing that came out of it. And I just hired my 4th employee. Do you know some of your clients track me down on Facebook, or your potential clients?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they have my name from you, and if on Facebook, there have been 3 people, and they say, please friend me. I want to see Jed Dietrich. How was it? So I friend them, and then we ended up actually talking. I remember one time I was talking to a friend in Penny's, and someone was coming by. Was that true? Was that really true? I'm like, yeah. He asked me to do him a favor. I told him, because he took such good care of me. He was so personable. And then when they get back to me, they say, he was just like you said he was. He talked to me. I actually met him the first day I went in. I wasn't expecting to meet him. I'm like, that's Jed. It wasn't a script. It wasn't rehearsed. This was just what happened. I said it was an easy story to tell. It was just perfect in every way. I have a huge family, and we have family reunions, and this is where it comes up, especially when they come out of town and they happen to catch the infomercial. and we sit down and we talk about how it is when you go in. And nobody has ever said they've ever seen the lawyer that made the commercial. They always end up seeing someone else. You know, they go there 1 or 2 times and they don't see the lawyer. And I won't mention the name of the firm, but she said the only time she saw that lawyer, because they took it all the way to court, was like 15 minutes before they walked into the courtroom. She had never, ever, ever met this man before. And she really didn't feel comfortable about it, because how can he speak for me when he was just like reading the notes real quick? It wasn't even a lot of eye contact while, you know, the 15 minutes before they went in. He was just going over the notes from the other people she saw. I don't know if they were clerks or paralegals. I don't know who it was that she saw, but she said she did not see the lawyer until it was actually time to walk in the courtroom, and I can't imagine that.
It's important for people out there to understand this. You call my office, 839-3939. We do not charge you anything for that phone call. If I believe you have a claim that needs to be investigated, you come to my office, or I come to you for free. I will come to you in the hospital. I will come to you at your home. And what I will do is explain to you what the legal issues are and explain to you what needs to be done to preserve your rights. And then I will do that for you such that we can get you the proper result. Your insurance company was like any other insurance company. They want to fight you, and you need somebody to fight them on your behalf. And we don't charge any extra to fight your no-fault insurance company, in addition to fighting the liability insurance company for the person that struck you. So you've got 2 insurance companies fighting you.
It was just a hassle. It was one big hassle I could have never, ever done on my own. And I think they do that on purpose. I think they just want you to throw up your hands and say, forget about it.
They do. What they do is they give you hassles to try to discourage you from getting treatment, which leads to you not getting better, and it leads to them paying less money out on your claim. And the longer it goes before you get medical treatment, the harder it is to link up the causation of your injuries to the car accident. So after a car accident, after a slip and fall, after any type of an injury to you where it's not your fault, somebody else causes your injuries, you need to do 3 things. Number 1, if it's a car accident, get a police report. You have to get the police report. Number 2, if you slip and fall at a grocery store or a department store, you've got to file an incident report and talk to the manager. And you got to get pictures. Whip out your cell phone, get some pictures. And then we've got experts who can go out after the fact, get further pictures, get dimensions, and then that dovetails in with the investigation of a lighter impact car collision. You're hit from behind, you get propelled forward. The seat belt holds you in, which means your neck comes forward, your body stays in. All the force goes through your neck of how the collision occurs. And a lot of times these cars don't show a lot of damage. What we do is we have experts, biomechanical experts and investigators who can go out and look for the damage underneath the car. They can look for the crush damage, and what they can do is tell us what the forces were involved such to cause your injuries.
I was just saved. That's why I'm here anytime you need me.
What we provide is personal attention for your personal injury. We get to know our clients. It allows us to present your case in a way that maximizes our ability to help you.
True, very true. It happened. I'm living proof.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you, Jed. It's
It's a
so
pleasure
nice
to
be
see you
here
again.
Yep.
You take care.